Chapter 91 A Lot of Acquaintances, and the Old Man Yu Luomian. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Xiao Wu, I'm coming for you. Seeing Xiao Wu again sent a jolt of excitement through Tang San. Ever since he first laid eyes on her 7 years ago, Tang San knew Xiao Wu was the one he was meant to protect and win over. Whatever was going on between her and Chowda, Tang San was determined to have her. It was his deepest desire. Now, he felt ready. He'd become strong enough to take down Chowda and claim Xiao Wu as his own. In Tang San's mind, Chowda didn't deserve Xiao Wu anyway. He was a player, a flirt, always surrounded by women. Tang San thought he was even worse than guys like Dai Mubai, Oscar, and Ma Hongjun. How could someone like Chowda ever be worthy of her? Tang San just wanted to surpass Chowda as soon as possible and rescue Xiao Wu from her misery, believing he was the only one who could truly make her happy. Douluo, noticing Tang San's intense gaze on Xiao Wu and how closely she clung to Chowda's arm, figured out the situation. Looks like that kid Chowda stole your girl right out from under you, huh? Ah, to be young and jealous again. He chuckled. Tang San ignored him. Douluo had no idea what Xiao Wu meant to him. Words were useless. Douluo just smiled and changed the subject. Take a look at them. Do they seem like they took the fairy grass? He was clearly concerned about the matter of the magical herbs. How can you tell after all this time? Tang San snapped. Unless you know their current spirit power levels, if they took the grass, they could already be soul sovereigns. And Chowda might even be a soul emperor by now. Soul emperor. Douluo stared at Chowda. Wow, he's a real monster. About your age and already a soul emperor. That's insane. I'm afraid my fairy grass is gone for good. Tang San smirked. Sounds like you're scared of him. Humph. Douluo retorted, annoyed. What do you know? I'm just being careful. A freak like Chowda comes along once in a millennium, so he's bound to be a handful. I'm not stupid enough to take unnecessary risks. Come on, the auction's about to start. I wonder if these good things they're talking about are worth a damn. They'd only come to the auction after hearing about the special items. Douluo had practically dragged Tang San along, since the detoxification process was still ongoing and required more time. Tang San and Douluo weren't the only ones who'd noticed Chowda and his group. Ju Douluo from the spirit hall had also spotted them, wearing a mask. Chrysanthemum Douluo observed Chowda from afar. Coming to an auction without a mask. That's asking for trouble, arrogant brat. Sooner or later, he'll slip up. The saintess thinks so highly of him, even swore an oath of brotherhood. Heh, does that mean Chowda's now part of the spirit hall? She must have a thing for this kid, right? And Chowda's always surrounded by beauties. He even dared to tease His Holiness the Pope. What a lecher. Maybe the saintess's beauty will finally win him over, and he'll end up bowing down to her. Heh, interesting. Chrysanthemum Douluo was already daydreaming about how Qian Renshui would seduce Chowda, so he could later laugh at Chowda. In his mind, if Qian Renshui really set her sights on Chowda and used her charms, she could easily bring him down. Then, Chowda would be a member of the spirit hall. He couldn't wait. There were quite a few big names in attendance tonight. Ning Fengji and Jian Douluo were also there, concealed behind masks. Fengji, Rongrong and Chowda are here. Jian Douluo spotted them first. Ning Fengji followed his gaze and saw his daughter laughing and chatting beside Chowda. He smiled. Rongrong seems to be having a great time. Jian Douluo grinned. If Rongrong isn't happy, I'll skin Chowda alive. We haven't seen each other in 6 months, and Rongrong seems to have grown up a little. Girls just don't want to stay home anymore. I'm afraid she'll soon forget us and not even bother to visit the sect. Ning Fengji knew Jian Douluo was just happy to see Ning Rongrong and wasn't really angry. They're awfully bold coming to an auction like this without masks. Wealth and beauty like that are easy targets for people with bad intentions. Jian Douluo said sternly, I'd like to see anyone try to lay a hand on Rongrong. Ning Rongrong's safety, along with Xiao De's, was already under Jian Douluo's personal watch. Elsewhere in the auction house, someone was paying close attention to Lu Erlong. Also wearing a mask was a man in his 60s, a member of the Blue Lightning Tyrant Dragon clan. He was Lu Erlong's father, Yu Luomian, the second master of the clan. Lu Erlong was Yu Luomian's illegitimate daughter and thus used her mother's surname. Yu Luomian had acknowledged her, and she was officially listed in the clan's genealogy as Yu Erlong, though she continued to go by Lu Erlong. After the incident with Yu Xiaojang, Lu Erlong had insisted on being with him, leading to a rift with her father. As a result, she'd rarely returned to the Blue Lightning Tyrant Dragon clan in the last 20 years. Even so, she couldn't sever ties with the clan entirely. The Lanba Academy's success in Tiando City was thanks, in part, to the Blue Lightning Tyrant Dragon clan's influence with the imperial court. Second Dragon seems to have become younger and more beautiful. Seeing his daughter after so long, Yu Luomian was struck by how much she'd changed. Could she be seeing someone new? As someone experienced in these matters, Yu Luomian suspected that his daughter was no longer a virgin. He was surprised and decided he needed to visit the Blue Lightning Tyrant Dragon clan to check on Lu Erlong's situation. As for Yu Xiaojang, Yu Luomian assumed that, after all these years, he would have given up and Lu Erlong would have moved on. As a father, Yu Luomian would never allow his daughter to be with her cousin. He hoped Lu Erlong would forget about Yu Xiaojang and start a new life. Seeing the joy on her face, her youthful appearance, he guessed she'd found a new partner, which was all for the best. Could it be that man? Yu Luomian noticed that Lu Erlong frequently glanced at Xiao De with an unusual expression. He looks familiar. After a few more glances, Yu Luomian felt he'd seen Xiao De somewhere before, but couldn't quite place him. The Blue Lightning Tyrant Dragon clan had taken note of Xiao De's spirit ring reveal in Soto City, but the information was limited. They dismissed it as rumor, thinking it impossible for anyone to have that kind of spirit ring. Yu Luomian had seen Xiao De's portrait by chance, but it hadn't made much of an impression at the time. He just couldn't remember where he'd encountered him. Unable to recall the connection, Yu Luomian continued to observe, and the more he watched, the more he suspected a relationship between Lu Erlong and Xiao De. He noticed Xiao De slyly touching Lu Erlong's butt, and the way she blushed but didn't object only confirmed his suspicions. He believed Xiao De was her new man, but he wasn't thrilled about it because Xiao Wu was also clinging to Xiao De. While it was common for men to have multiple wives in this world, Yu Luomian hoped his son-in-law would only have his daughter and treat her with his whole heart. Yu Luomian decided that, in addition to visiting the Lanba Academy, he needed to investigate Xiao De's background to see if he was worthy of his daughter. Of course, as long as Xiao De wasn't too bad, Yu Luomian wouldn't interfere, because Lu Erlong wasn't getting any younger. If she didn't find someone to marry soon, she'd end up an old maid. The guests continued to arrive, and the auction was about to begin. End of this chapter. Chapter 92. The world is darker than you think. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Quiet, please. Let the auction begin. First item up for bid. Here we have a defensive, soft-armored soul tool, masterfully crafted by a blacksmith using specialized materials and techniques. Capable of withstanding attacks from soul kings and below, it's the perfect gift for the young ones in your family. Don't miss out. This first item was truly exceptional, sparking a bidding frenzy. While soul guides, especially attack-type ones, are still relatively rare in the current Douluo Continent, storage-type guides are more common. Occasionally, you'll find defensive soul guides like this one. The key to a soul guide is its reliance on soul power. This soft armor needs soul power to unlock its maximum defensive capabilities. Ultimately, a wealthy noble snapped up the defensive soft armor soul guide for a hefty price. Forget the youngsters, he wanted it for himself. Something that could block attacks from soul kings and weaker was too good to pass up. Look at those girls, so sad, Xiao Wu said. She noticed some women being paraded around, treated like toys by the nobles. Lu Erlong explained, the auction house breeds them using special methods, turning them into playthings. They're basically dolls, devoid of real feelings, completely controlled. Even if we rescued them, they wouldn't be able to survive on their own. It's almost impossible to change their situation. Zhu Zhuqin commented, this world's even darker than we thought. Ning Rongrong chimed in, Xiao Wu, this is something we can't really fix. Xiao Didao added, if you want to change things, you need serious power, enough to change everything. Otherwise, it's a lost cause. The people behind this auction aren't messing around. And this is just a tiny glimpse into how this world really works. This auction in the Heaven Do Empire is backed by the empire itself. It's a business unlike any other, and they get away with all sorts of illegal activities because of their powerful connections. What we're seeing in this auction is just a small piece of the bigger picture. To truly fix things, you'd have to change the whole world. Even the 7 treasure glazed tile school can't pull that off, let alone us right now. Buying all those girls wouldn't solve anything. It'd just line their pockets, and they'd raise more girls just like them. A good intention would turn into something awful. Xiao Wu fell silent. Despite living among humans for 6 or 7 years, she still had a lot to learn, especially compared to Ning Rongrong, Zhu Zhuqin, and the others. Her thinking was much more innocent. Xiao De patted her head, trying to comfort her. We can't change the world right now, and we can't save those girls, but if there's something we can do, we should do it. Maybe we can't change the world, but we can change the fate of some people. Mai Xiang understood this all too well. Xiao De and the others had changed her and her mother's fate. It might not fix the whole world, but it could make a world of difference for individuals. Lu Erlong agreed. Xiao De's right. We can't change the world, but we can do what we can to help those we can. That's a good thing in itself. Xiao Wu thought it over, then nodded. I understand. Even if she didn't fully grasp it, it made sense. The auction continued. They sold all sorts of things, herbs, weapons, armor, rare minerals, gems. Our next item is a little different. It's a living creature, and a stunning one at that. I think many of you nobles, lords, and wealthy individuals will find her intriguing. An iron cage covered with black cloth was wheeled onto the stage. As the cloth was removed, gasps and murmurs rippled through the crowd. As you can see, this is a strikingly beautiful woman with a unique mutation. Taking her home for your personal enjoyment would be an unforgettable experience. Inside the cage stood a young woman, but she was far from ordinary. She had fox ears, fox eyes, a fox tail, and an undeniably seductive aura. Her figure was hot, and her appeal was undeniable. Many men present swallowed hard. The eyes of the aristocratic lords and the wealthy were shining with desire. It's been a while since the auction found a prize like this. Worth the wait. I'll take her. A fox spirit martial soul causing these changes. Fascinating. She'd be fun to play with. She's mine. Nobody's outbidding me. Auctions often sell slaves, and beautiful women with unique mutations like this one are always the most sought after and profitable. While the Heaven Do Empire technically forbids slave trading, the auction house has powerful protection, so they brazenly buy and sell slaves anyway. This world really is messed up. Xiao Wu wanted to help the fox girl. Can we save her? Before Xiao De could answer, Ning Rongrong spoke up. She still has her spirit, unlike those soulless girls they breed here. She can be saved. Money's no object. Let's do this. The rich girl was ready to jump in. 20 gold soul coins. A woman had entered the bidding war, breaking up the testosterone-fueled competition. Why are women getting involved? Hey, isn't she a little bold to not wear a mask? And she's a hottie too, easily as pretty as the one in the cage. Hey, those other girls with her are gorgeous too. They're mine after the auction. Someone had noticed Ning Rongrong and her friends, and his gaze turned lecherous. He was already plotting his moves for after the auction. Our sweet, kind Rongrong, Grandpa Jian won't let anyone lay a hand on you. Jian Douluo scanned the crowd, marking anyone who looked like they were planning something. Ning Fengji sighed. I hope they can always keep their kind hearts. Maybe they really can change the world someday. Meanwhile, Dugu Bo chuckled. Isn't that the little princess from the 7 treasure glazed tile school? Showing off like that, she's bound to attract attention. Tang San looked worried. But you said it yourself, she's the 7-treasure glazed tile school's princess. Who would dare mess with her? Oh, you're being naive, Douluo said. There are always people who take risks, or are just plain stupid. Not everyone is rational, with several beautiful girls just flaunting in here is even more likely to make people do something stupid. Either way, they're asking for trouble. Tang San looked at Xiao Wu, a little concerned. In the end, the fox girl was bought by Ning Rongrong for an exorbitant price. Afterward, the auction house sold other slaves, both male and female, including a group of over 100 laborers. The unit price was low, but the sheer number made it profitable. Once these slaves were bought, they would be worked like animals, easily replaced when they broke down. 100,000 gold soul coins. Ning Rongrong went on a spending spree, buying all the remaining slaves and dropping a fortune in the process. Zhu Zhuqin pointed out the problem. Now the auction house will make even more money, and they'll just be more motivated to find more slaves to sell. Their good intentions seem to be making things worse, Chowda said. We can't fix the system, but at least we saved them. We can live with that. Xiao Wu was fuming. I wish I could just destroy this auction house so they couldn't sell slaves anymore, that if it's not Zhang San, it'll be Li Si. This is something that needs to change the world to eradicate it. Chapter 93 Confrontation among Titled Douluo. This gift is impossible to refuse. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Even if Ning Rongrong and the others don't buy those slaves, someone else will. The auction will go on as usual, but Ning Rongrong and her friends did save those people. They did a good deed. Given their ability, you can't change the whole world, but it's still good to help a few people. It's better than just standing by and doing nothing. Maybe someday Ning Rongrong and the others will become as cool and collected as Ning Fengji as they get older, but for now, their kindness is a good thing. Whatever other people think, Chowda and the rest have a clear conscience. Even though they bought more than 100 slaves, Chowda and the group didn't leave right away. They stuck around for the rest of the auction. It went on from morning until afternoon. Alright folks, the last item up for grabs. I know you've all been waiting for this. Take a look at this. The auctioneer popped open the box in front of him, and inside was a soul bone practically glowing. A soul bone, just like the rumor said. A lot of soul masters showed up today because they heard whispers that a soul bone would be auctioned off. Every so often, a soul bone pops up at an auction, and every time, it's a madhouse. This here is a left leg bone, over 4,000 years old. The auction house appraisers tell me it's got a strong fire element and boost strength. Perfect for any fire type or power-based soul masters. Starting bid is 300 million gold soul coins. Minimum raise is 10 million. Let the bidding begin. Soul bones are super valuable, and even a low-level one can sell for millions. This is only a 1,000-year soul bone. A 10,000-year one? Forget about it. You're talking millions, maybe tens of millions. That soul bone would be perfect for Teacher Erlong. Chowda was itching to bid, but he was broke. Ning Rongrong sighed. That soul bone's gonna go for at least 500 million. I don't have that kind of cash on me, and I don't have time to run back to the 7-treasure glazed tile school to grab it. She had about 500 million in pocket money, and she had already spent nearly half of it. That would never be enough to compete. Even though the Lamba Academy got funding from the 7-treasure glazed tile sect, things were still pretty tight right now. No way they could just cough up 500 million on the spot. Lu Erlong shook her head. Don't worry about it. They were out of the running, but others were jumping in. Douluo, 400 million gold soul coins. That old codger wants this soul bone. Yu Luomian wanted to buy it for his daughter Lu Erlong, 500 million gold soul coins. Heh, that sounds like Jade Luomian, am I right? You got 500 million lying around. Zhu Douluo scoffed, 600 million gold soul coins. The Spirit Hall wants this soul bone. The mention of the Spirit Hall scared a lot of folks off. Chrysanthemum pass. Douluo started ranting. Is the Spirit Hall gonna throw its weight around? 700 million gold soul coins. Not everyone's scared of the Spirit Hall. Yu Luomian upped the stakes. 1,000 million gold soul coins. Lu Erlong was watching her dad with mixed feelings, feeling a little guilty because of what happened with Yu Xiaojiang. Then again, it's fair to say that Lu Erlong had pretty much forgotten about Yu Xiaojiang and was now with Chao De, otherwise, she wouldn't feel guilty. Old poison, you still kicking? Zhu Douluo yelled at Dugubo, 1,002 million gold soul coins, over a billion. Dugubo was starting to sweat. He didn't have the backing of the Spirit Hall, the Seven Treasure Glazed Tile School, or the Blue Lightning Overlord Dragon School. He hesitated. Sword Douluo chimed in, 500 million gold soul coins, my 7 Treasure Glazed Tile School wants in on the fun. Alright, everyone's showing their hand. The bystanders just watched, 15 million gold soul coins. Dugubo thought about it and decided to back down. Yu Luomian was surprised that Sword Douluo Chen was here, and he hesitated to push the price higher. Sword Chen, you made it. Zhu Douluo was in a foul mood. He hated Sword Douluo, but he couldn't beat him, so he just had to seethe. 800 million gold soul coins, 0.800 million was already an insane price. Yu Luomian gave up, feeling he couldn't compete with Sword Douluo or Zhu Douluo, and the price was too steep. He was bummed that he couldn't get a gift for Lu Erlong. Sword Douluo smiled, 2,000 million gold soul coins, final offer. If Zhu Douluo wants to go higher, it's all yours. Chrysanthemum Douluo stalled, since the soul bone wasn't right for him or Ghost Douluo, he'd just be handing it over to the Spirit Hall or someone else. But 2,000 million? He'd be a laughingstock if he overpaid. Heh, since the 7 Treasure Glazed Tile sect is swimming in cash, I'll let you have it. Spending 2,000 million on a soul bone. That's going to be a legendary tale. Chrysanthemum Douluo gave up, throwing in a final sneer for good measure. Congratulations to Sword Douluo for winning this auction, that the auction house was rolling in it. The auctioneer was grinning ear to ear. Xiao Wu turned to Ning Rongrong, Rongrong, your family is loaded. Ning Rongrong said casually, it's just a bit of pocket money. Not a big deal, that the 7 Treasure Glazed Tile School helped support the Heaven Do Empire. After all, the Spirit Hall had money, sure, but it was spread thin. The 7 Treasure Glazed Tile School probably had more cash on hand. With the auction over, no one was dumb enough to try and swipe the soul bone from Sword Douluo. That was suicide. Sword Douluo and Ning Fengji came over to Ning Rongrong's group. President Lu Erlong, young Chao De, and everyone else. Good to see you again. Sect Master Ning, Senior Sword Douluo. Uncle Ning, Senior Sword Douluo. That they all greeted each other. Ning Fengji turned to his daughter. Rongrong, you scooped up over 100 slaves. What's the plan for them? Ning Rongrong explained, we thought about it. We're going to see if any of them have homes they can go back to. If they do, we'll give them some travel money and send them on their way. For the ones who don't have anywhere to go, we're thinking of putting them up in the academy for now and finding them jobs so they can get back on their feet. Ning Fengji was happy that she didn't just say the 7 Treasure Glazed Tile School would take care of everything. It showed she was thinking for herself instead of just relying on her family's money. That was a good sign of maturity. Ning Fengji nodded approvingly. That's not bad. If you're going to save people, you need to do it right. Ning Rongrong asked, Dad, Grandpa Jian, were you planning on giving that soul bone to Grandpa Bone? But his element is darker, and it might not mesh well with the fire element, right? Bone Douluo's main strength was defense, and his martial soul was the bone dragon. Hee. Ning Fengji could see right through his daughter. He glanced at Lu Erlong, and then his gaze settled on Chao De. Young Chao De, you could really use this soul bone. I'd like to give it to you as a thank you from the 7 Treasure Glazed Tile School. He was referring to Chao De's help with Ning Rongrong's 9 Treasure Glazed Tile Pagoda martial soul. Even though he promised to support Lanba Academy, Ning Fengji thought it wasn't enough. Plus, he wanted to win over Chao De. These investments were worth it. For Lu Erlong's sake, Chao De didn't turn down the offer. Thank you, Uncle Ning. I really appreciate it. It's very generous of you. Seeing that Chao De accepted it, Ning Fengji beamed. Let's go. I'll send you back to the academy. You've already got some unwanted attention. Sword Douluo added, let's see who's dumb enough to mess with Rongrong. End of this chapter. Chapter 94 Yu Luomian, Two Dragons, bring Chowda to Zhang's house during the Chinese New Year. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 94, Yu Luomian, Erlong, bring Chowda home for New Year's. Erlong, Yu Luomian waited outside the auction house for Lu Erlong and the others. Dad. Lu Erlong greeted him, hearing that familiar dad, Yu Luomian beamed. Long time no see. Erlong, you look younger and more beautiful. I almost didn't recognize you. Xiao Wu exclaimed, that's Erlong's mom's dad. My grandpa, Ning Rongrong chimed in, I've never met him before. Ning Fengji explained, that's Yu Luomian, younger brother to the Blue Lightning Tyrant Dragon clan's leader, and their second in command. I didn't realize Dean Lu Erlong was his daughter. No wonder he was after that soul bone, he wanted it for her. Come on, let's say hello. Ning Fengji led Chowda and the others over to Yu Luomian. Your Excellency Yu Luomian, it's been a while, Ning Fengji said. Sword Douluo simply nodded, a subtle acknowledgement of Yu Luomian's junior status. Sect Master Ning and Senior Sword Douluo are here as well. Yu Luomian said, surprised. Ning Fengji smiled. My daughter, Ning Rongrong, is currently a student of Principal Lu Erlong. The Seven Treasure Glazed Tile School has some dealings with Lamba Academy, so we're all friends here. Despite past conflicts between the Seven Treasure Glazed Tile sect and the Blue Lightning Tyrant Dragon clan, the atmosphere was friendly enough to set them aside for now. I see, Yu Luomian replied. Sect Master Ning's support is an honor for Erlong. As her father, I want to thank you as well. Ning Fengji waved his hand dismissively. Your Excellency Yu Luomian, you're too kind. Yu Luomian also headed to Lamba Academy. The auction house would handle delivering the purchased slaves to the academy. Once at Lamba Academy, Ning Fengji and Sword Douluo departed. On their way, Sword Douluo commented, Lu Erlong being Yu Luomian's daughter, and Chowda being Lu Erlong's disciple, this makes it easier for the Blue Lightning Tyrant Dragon clan to reel Chowda in, doesn't it? Ning Fengji didn't seem concerned. Chowda is his own man. He won't easily attach himself to anyone. We can't recruit him, we can only be his friend and maintain a positive relationship. He finally understood, Sword Douluo agreed. I didn't expect Juhua Pass to show up in Tiando City. Is he still trying to get to Chowda? Probably not, Ning Fengji responded. If he was, he'd have already made his move. The Spirit Hall must not be confident in capturing Chowda, so they're changing tactics. Maybe they want to use other methods, or even try to win him over. The Spirit Hall doesn't have much of a grudge against Chowda, so it doesn't necessarily have to be an enemy. The key is Chowda's special spirit skills, they can't counter them, so they have to adjust their approach. Sword Douluo said, Chowda's space-shifting ability is truly bizarre. Even Ju Douluo and Ghost Douluo's martial soul fusion skill couldn't stop him from escaping. A space-type martial soul is something else. I wonder if there are any other space-type soul skills besides that. Hey, Rongrong is protecting Chowda now, and won't spill the beans on anything. Ning Fengji chuckled. They grow up so fast, but even so, they would be happy if Ning Rongrong and Chowda ended up together. At Lamba Academy, Lu Erlong was giving her father a tour. They chatted along the way. Though Lamba Academy didn't compare to other top-tier Soul Master academies, it was still impressive. Erlong, Lamba Academy is not bad. I can see you've put your heart into it. Lu Erlong replied, Lamba Academy focuses on ordinary students. Their talents may not be as high as those from noble Soul Master families with resources, but they still have the potential to rise to the top. With enough resources, their development will be even better, and they'll be just as good as students from advanced Soul Master academies. We have a few monstrous geniuses in the academy right now. Maybe we can win the Soul Master competition this time, Yu Luomian wasn't convinced but encouraged her, keep working hard. You'll get there eventually. Lu Erlong smiled, knowing her father didn't believe her. Yu Luomian then asked, Erlong, do you have a boyfriend these days? Lu Erlong blushed slightly and admitted, yes. Yu Luomian followed up, is that Chao De? Lu Erlong was surprised. You figured it out? Yes, it's him. I'm his girl now, and I always will be. Yu Luomian sighed inwardly. His daughter had always been independent. She was with Yu Xiaojang before, and now she's with her student. But he thought Lu Erlong and Chao De were a better match than Yu Xiaojang, who was Lu Erlong's cousin. Yu Luomian asked, I think Chao De is a bit of a ladies' man. Your students seem to be interested in him. You're okay with that? Lu Erlong said calmly, isn't it normal for a man to have multiple partners? Dad, you're the same. Why can't Chao De? Yu Luomian was speechless but felt the need to say something. I'm serious about your mother and the others. I haven't let anyone down. I know, Lu Erlong replied. Chao does the same. While he may be a bit of a flirt, he's not vulgar. He doesn't meet someone and fall in love instantly, or abandon his girls. I don't actually care about those things, as long as I like him and he likes me. His daughter was still as straightforward as ever, daring to love and hate. She was a grown woman, and he couldn't change that. Yu Luomian resigned himself to it. Since you've made your choice, don't regret it later. No matter what happens, remember you still have your father. If he bullies you, tell me, and I'll deal with him. Lu Erlong smiled, feeling his love, both moved and happy. But she felt that her father probably couldn't beat Chao De, or maybe not even her. Dad, I'm level 82 now, a contra. If I can't beat Chao De, do you think you can? Yu Luomian was shocked. Erlong, you're a soul Douluo already. Just a few years ago, you were still a soul sage. How did you improve so quickly? Lu Erlong grinned and revealed her soul rings, 2 yellow, 2 purple, and 4 black. 8 soul rings. An iron fighting contra. It really is a contra. Yu Luomian was happy for his daughter. Good. That's great. You're more promising than your brothers and sisters. You're a true Yu Luomian. Lu Erlong dismissed her soul rings and said with a smile, now you can relax. I have faith in Chao De, and even if he changes his mind, I can't do anything about it. I can't beat him now. Yu Luomian thought he misheard. Are you kidding me? You're a contra, he's your student. How can you not beat him? You're protecting him. Don't worry, as long as he treats you well, I won't make things difficult for him. My meddling in your love life would only annoy you, so just be happy. But remember to come home for New Year's this year. Your mother's been thinking about you. Bring Chao De back to meet her, too. Lu Erlong agreed with a smile. She didn't explain why she couldn't beat Chao De. She believed that once her father investigated Chao De, he would find out the reason. It would be unbelievable. It would be very interesting to think about the situation at that time. End of this chapter. Chapter 95 Slut Cao, we are aboveboard, what is there to be afraid of? You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 95 That bitch Cao, we're doing things right, so what's to be afraid of? Listen, kid, you treat Erlong right. You even think about messing with her, and you'll answer to me. Yu Luomian, who hadn't said 2 words to Chao De before, pulled him aside for a quick warning as he was leaving Lamba Academy. Chao De just grinned and promised, don't you worry, Dad. I'll keep Erlong happy. Ain't nobody gonna mess with her. This kid. It sounded like an old man was coddling his daughter. Yu Luomian gave him a look. Don't get wise with me, just remember what I said. I will, Dad, Chao De said, still grinning. Yu Luomian still wasn't sure about Chao De, but there was no changing what his daughter wanted. Lu Erlong and Chao De walked Yu Luomian out. So, did my dad read you the riot act? Lu Erlong asked, smiling. Chao De put on a serious face. He told me to take good care of you. Said he had high hopes for me, was real impressed with his future son-in-law. Lu Erlong rolled her eyes. Yeah, right. Then her face turned serious. Doesn't matter what he says or what he thinks. I'm the one who's made up my mind. You're my one and only, Xiao De. Forever. Xiao De pulled Lu Erlong into a hug and showed her exactly how he felt. Whoa! Isn't that Dean Lu Erlong? And that's Xiao De, a student of hers. Wow! Some students saw Lu Erlong all over Xiao De, and the news was going to spread around Lanba Academy quick. Lu Erlong laughed. The word's gonna be out all over the academy now. You worried what people will say? Xiao De shrugged. We ain't robbing no banks. We're doing things out in the open. Man and woman in love, ain't nothing to be afraid of. Ha! Lu Erlong smiled, real pleased. That's my man, all right. The two of them strolled around Lanba Academy, holding hands. Some teachers and students looked at them, curious, and Lu Erlong just came right out and said, that's right, we're together now. Xiao De's my man. What's the big deal? We're in love. Xiao Wu, Ning Rongrong, Zhu Zhuqing, Chenli, Mai Xiang, and the others weren't surprised by the news. They'd been around them long enough to see it coming, but they didn't have much to say. I'm gonna go train. Xiao Wu suddenly felt like she needed to get moving, get into her mature stage, and be Xiao De's woman. Lu Erlong was already one step ahead of her. She wasn't about to let anyone else get there first. Ning Rongrong and Zhu Zhuqing didn't get all worked up about it. They were still the same as ever, laughing and joking with Xiao De, and they let him get away with whatever he wanted. The 100+ slaves that had been bought at the auction were delivered to Lanba Academy, and Xiao De and the others went to sort it all out, including the fox girl with the mutation. There were a total of 120 people, men and women, young and strong, from teenagers to over 40, in this world. People generally develop the appearance of Earth people at 17 or 18 at the age of 11 or 12. Among these people, more than a dozen had awakened their spirit, and 2 had spirit rings, both the white, 10-year kind. Even a soul master could get caught and sold off as a slave. Xiao Wu asked the 2 of them about it. It turned out they'd ticked off the wrong person, and that was that. If you want to leave, we'll give you some money for the road, and you can head out now. Out of the 120, a third chose to leave, including the 2 soul masters. Most of the others were homeless, and of course, there were a few who figured they'd stick around and see what Xiao De and them were about. The ones who had awakened their spirits stayed, and Lu Erlong took care of the rest. The remaining 12 had awakened their martial souls, but they were all ordinary. Most had innate soul power that barely reached level 1, and none had innate soul power above level 3. Xiao De picked them out to use for experiments, to see what would happen if they used some of the space-captured ingredients and fruits. Chen, Mai, you're in charge of these 12. He set them up together, gave them a job, and had them start learning about soul masters and trying to train. Then he started feeding them space-captured ingredients and fruit regularly to see what would happen. Chenli and Mai Xiang were good examples, but Xiao De wanted more people to try it out and record what happened, so he could figure out how to use the space-captured stuff better in the future. Maybe, in the future, he could use the stuff to grow people with special martial souls, even if those souls weren't much good, and the innate soul power was too low to train. Maybe he could even find a martial soul that was good for alchemy or forging weapons, or maybe one that was good for making music. The idea was, Xiao De could grow any kind of special spirit he wanted using the space-captured ingredients and fruits. Of course, that was assuming they really helped people with 0 talent grow. Chenli and Mai Xiang's changes were a good sign, but there was no telling how far it would go. Maybe they'd hit a wall once they got to Soul Master or Soul Sect. It was going to take some time to figure it out. Xiao De and the others had been eating the stuff they got from the space they captured, and it seemed to be working. But they were already pretty talented, so it was hard to tell what the real effect was. It wasn't like there was a shortage of geniuses, but there were plenty of regular people who were hard to train. 12 people was already a lot. If there were more, there wouldn't be enough ingredients and fruit to go around. Out of those 12, the one that got the most attention was the mutated fox girl. Her name was Humayer. She was 11 years old, and she had a regular fox spirit, but like Chenli and Mai Xiang, her body had changed after she awakened her spirit. Except her mutation was even more complete, she had fox ears, eyes, a tail, and even fox paws, but those mutations made Humayr even more beautiful and sexy, and her body matured faster. She even had a natural vixen vibe about her, like she was trying to lure men in, different, beautiful, sexy, foxy, and flirty. It wasn't hard to see why men were so fascinated by her. Humayr was still pretty scared, and hadn't really gotten over the shock yet, so she could barely even say her name. Xiao Wu and the others were doing their best to make her feel better, but it was going to take a while for her to get used to things. Ning Fengji gave Chao De the 4-year-old left leg soul bone, and Chao De gave it to Lu Erlong. After absorbing it, Lu Erlong's fire-type power jumped way up, and the bone increased her own strength by 50%. It worked. Plus, with the boost in fire-type power, it was totally worth the 200 million gold soul coins to Lu Erlong. It was Lu Erlong's first soul bone, and Chao De had given it to her, so it was real special. So, that night, Lu Erlong returned the favor and took care of Chao De real good. Now that their relationship was out in the open, they didn't try to hide anything from Xiao Wu and the others, and slept together without worrying. Who knew, of course, that bitch Chao wasn't about to neglect Xiao Wu and the others. He still made out with Xiao Wu, and he still got away with whatever he could with Ning Rongrong and Zhu Zhuqing. Nothing had changed. With the space-capturing power he had, and his own shameless personality, he'd definitely make them happy. End of this chapter. Chapter 96. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Today, Chao is meeting Shui Binger at Tianshui College again. With Shui Yuer out of the picture, they can finally enjoy some privacy. Let's check out that grove over there, Chao suggested, taking Shui Binger's hand. Shui Binger blushed. What are you planning? That even though Tianshui Academy is primarily for girls, plenty of guys visit, and some couples like to sneak off into the grove. Thanks to Shui Yuer's gossiping, Shui Binger knew all about it, so, when Chao mentioned the grove, she immediately thought of the embarrassing story Shui Yuer had told her. They'd been dating for about 6 months, and while they often hugged and kissed, they hadn't gone all the way. Now, hearing Chao's suggestion, she assumed he was trying to seduce her, and she felt nervous and unprepared. Heh heh. Chao grinned mischievously and led her into the grove. Finding themselves alone, Chao looked at Shui Binger, whose face was flushed, and said, "Nobody's around. I want to show you something cool." Nobody's around. All Shui Binger heard was the first part, and her mind went blank, racing with thoughts. I'm not ready. What should I do? If I say no, will he be mad? How can something like that happen here, star? Try not to be too surprised, Chao said. He had no idea that his intentions were completely different from what she was imagining. In the blink of an eye, Shui Binger and Chao disappeared into the grove. They reappeared on a beach, facing the ocean. What? The sea breeze snapped Shui Binger back to reality. Seeing the beach and the sea, she was stunned. We were just in the woods, weren't we? What's going on? Where are we? Unease crept in, and she looked at Chao beside her, puzzled. Thankfully, he was there, or she'd be terrified. Chao took Shui Binger's trembling hands and explained, "Binger, you know my spirit is a space-type spirit, a really unique one, but my spirit has other secrets. It exists in this special space, it's incredible." This is the space within Chao's spirit, that it was beyond anything she could comprehend, and it took her a moment to collect herself. That's amazing. You're incredible, Chao. Shocked, she was also touched. This was his secret, and he was sharing it with her, showing how much he trusted her. To Shui Binger, that meant more than knowing the secret itself. Let me give you a tour. Chao led Shui Binger along the beach outside a small island, explaining as they walked, "I don't know why my space spirit has this area, but it just does." At first, there was only a small island, surrounded by the sea. Later, the island grew bigger, with a villa and lots of fruit trees. The fish, seafood, and fruit I've given you all come from this place. There are fruit trees on the island, and we catch the fish and seafood from the fishing platform. They walked hand in hand, one talking, the other listening, the sea breeze rustling through their clothes and hair, creating a beautiful scene. Try this fruit. You've probably had it before. Chao led her to pick some fruit. Shui Binger realized she'd tasted all of these before. So, they came from here. The space felt both dreamlike and utterly real. Let's head to the villa. There's a room for you there. After picking some fruit, they entered the villa. The gate opened automatically and closed behind them. Everything in the villa filled Shui Binger with curiosity, but her sharp eyes noticed that Chao wasn't the only one living there. There were traces and scents of other people, all women, and not just one or two. Her suspicions were soon confirmed. Chao took her to the second floor of the villa. Binger, there are 10 rooms up here. 7 already belong to someone, including mine. There are 5 of us who usually live and train here. Each door has a spirit symbol on it, matching each person's spirit. Aside from mine, you can only open your own room. My spirit space is special. Only those recognized by the space can enter. You can come in now, but you can't. Shui Binger memorized the symbols on each door: soft-boned rabbit, fire dragon, 9-treasure glazed pagoda, ghost civet, seraph, space. This is your room. I haven't been inside yet. You get to open it. They stopped at the door with the ice phoenix pattern. The patterns were incredibly lifelike. My room. Shui Binger placed her hand on the door, pushed gently, and it swung open. The sight inside made her eyes light up. This was exactly her style. What a beautiful room. That the entire room was decorated in ice blue, with an exquisite layout that she adored. Chao explained. The space arranged each room. It seems to know exactly what everyone likes. Shui Binger was surprised. She'd thought Chao had carefully decorated it for her. That's incredible. This place is perfect for me. Chao grinned. Check out the closet. It should be full of clothes, mostly things you like. There are some new things here. Let me explain them to you. The room was filled with unfamiliar items that she'd never seen or used before, requiring Chao's explanation. A huge closet. So many clothes. They're gorgeous. Opening the closet, Shui Binger was amazed by the contents. There were all sorts of clothes, shoes, accessories, and more. Jewelry and other items were displayed in special cabinets. Perfumes and cosmetics were also neatly arranged. It took Shui Binger about an hour to get a rough idea of everything in the room. This necklace is stunning. Sit here, and I'll help you put it on. Chao picked out a sapphire necklace. The bed is so soft. Shui Binger exclaimed, sitting down. It's incredibly comfortable. You can come and stay here often from now on. Chao fastened the necklace around her neck. It looks amazing. He leaned in for a kiss, taking advantage of the moment. Shui Binger returned the kiss. Thank you. I love it, and I love this place. Can I really come and stay here often? Will it bother the others? No, Chao replied, shaking his head. They'll be thrilled to see you. They know you are going to meet them sooner or later. Shui Binger asked, they're all girls, right? Chao nodded. One is Dean Lu Erlong from Lamba Academy, and the other 4 are students there. We're all good friends. Chapter 97 Shui Binger's Shock. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Does your dean live here too? Shui Binger wondered if the dean of Lamba Academy, being older, might be involved with Chao De. Or was she overthinking things, and they were just close friends? Chao De nodded. Teacher Erlong is awesome. She knows all about us and has been wanting to meet you, and Xiao Wu, she's like a little sister to me. An orphan too. We've been together for 7 years, taking care of each other. Asterisk childhood sweetheart sister, star. Where are the other 2? Shui Binger asked. One's Ning Rongrong, Chao De explained, daughter of the 7-treasure glazed tile sex leader and future head of the whole operation. Shui Binger's jaw dropped. No way. The 7-treasure glazed tile sex princess. I didn't realize you 2 knew each other. Chao De continued, then there's Zhu Zhuqing. Her spirit is a nether cat. She's from the Zhu family in the Star Luo Empire, but she had to flee to the Heaven Do Empire because she couldn't handle her family's ruthlessness. Her own sister was after her. We met during some training exercises. Shui Binger had heard of the Zhu family. That sounds rough. After a pause, she asked, so, the only one who hasn't been in this space is the Seraphim Martial Soul, right? Or the Rabbit one. Shui Binger knew about Lu Erlong, Ning Rongrong, and Zhu Zhuqing's martial souls. The Seraphim one's never been here, Chao De said. Her situation's kind of unique. I'll introduce you when the time is right. Introduce us, had no one seen the girl with the Seraphim martial soul yet? Shui Binger didn't push it. So, Xiao Wu's got the rabbit martial soul. That's right. Is it? Shui Binger thought. Chao De hesitated a moment, then said, Xiao Wu's, well, she's special. She's not exactly human, but a human form created from a 10,000-year soul ring. Wait, what? A 10,000-year soul beast. Shui Binger was shocked. Chao De looked at her and explained, a 10,000-year soul beast can transform into a human and cultivate again. Once they reach level 60 and mature, they become fully human. Xiao Wu is a sweetheart. I know you'll like her once you get to know her. Teacher Erlong, Ning Rongrong, Zhu Zhuqing, they all know, and they're all really close. They're like sisters. Another bombshell. Shui Binger was surprised, then touched. If she's like a sister to you, I'm sure she's great. I'll keep it secret and treat her with respect. She's a human now, just like us. Even if she started as a soul beast, if you vouch for her, I'll accept her and care for her. She trusted Chao De, liked him, and was willing to extend that affection to Xiao Wu. Thank you. Chao De took Shui Binger's hand, his eyes sincere and full of love. Hey, no need to thank me, Shui Binger smiled. I'm just realizing that the women in your life are pretty exceptional. The Dean, a princess, a Zhu family member, and a 10,000-year soul beast, and then there's me, being so ordinary. Chao De wrapped his arms around her. You're one of a kind to me, irreplaceable. Shui Binger gazed at Chao De, her eyes full of love. You're my one and only too. Chao De leaned in, and Shui Binger closed her eyes. They lingered for a few moments before pulling apart. Let's head out now. I'll take you to Lamba Academy to meet everyone. Chao De felt it was important for Shui Binger to meet Xiao Wu and the others. Okay, whatever you want. Shui Binger had mentally prepared herself and was eager to meet them. They left and reappeared in the grove, finding it still empty, but emerging from the trees, they spotted a couple tangled in the grass. The sounds of passion made Shui Binger blush furiously, and she tugged Chao De away. Chao De, picking up on her earlier mood, teased, Binger, what did you think I was going to do, taking you into the woods? I don't know, Shui Binger mumbled, flustered. Heh, Chao De chuckled. We'll have to experience that one day. Humph. Shui Binger feigned anger. Say another word, and I'm ignoring you, Chao De laughed. Binger, you're so adorable. I could just eat you up, Shui Binger retorted, in your dreams. And hurried ahead, afraid of losing her composure. Chao De followed Shui Binger back to her dorm, where she needed to pack and freshen up before going out. Let me help you with your hair. Chao De stood behind Shui Binger, watching her in the mirror. Okay. Shui Binger handed him the comb. I didn't know you knew how to do a girl's hair. Do you do other girls' hair often? Shui Binger couldn't help but ask. As he combed, Chao De said, I do Xiao Wu's hair a lot. It's super long. Sounds like you two are close. Shui Binger knew Chao De cared for Xiao Wu, but she didn't pry. She'd already come to terms with Chao De maybe having other women, and prepared herself for that. She knew she'd be jealous, but it wasn't a deal-breaker as long as Chao De cared for her. Like her own family, her father had a few women, and they all lived happily. Yuer's not here today. It feels kind of weird. Chao De mentioned Shui Yuer. Shui Binger said, she went home to see her mother, who's my stepmom. She probably won't be back today. She glanced at the time. Almost lunchtime. How about we head over to your academy after we eat? Chao replied, I told teacher Erlong before I came that I might bring you back. She said she'd wait for us for lunch. Oh. Shui Binger stood. Then we shouldn't delay. Let's hurry so we don't keep them waiting. Shui Binger felt a pang of nerves, like she was meeting her future in-laws. Chao smiled. Relax, we have time. Shui Binger said, it'll be noon soon. Let's go now. Shui Binger pulled Chao out of the dorm. The college teachers and students were used to seeing them, since Chao visited several times a month. While Shui Binger drew more attention, guys like Chao came to Tianshui College all the time to woo the students here, so, this sort of thing was pretty typical at Tianshui Academy. They took a carriage, arriving smoothly at Lanba Academy. Classes had ended, and many teachers and students were milling around the campus. Cute girl. It's Chao again. Chao, that lucky dog. Not only did he snag Dean Lu Erlong, but he's messing around with all these beautiful girls. Now, he's got a new hottie. It's just not fair, some students whispered. Shui Binger overheard them, but having expected it, she just looked at Chao. Chao squeezed her hand. Let's go, straight to teacher Erlong's place. That's where everyone will be. Shui Binger smiled. Okay. No need to explain. We understand each other, and we'll stick together. Chapter 98 What a Smell of Vinegar. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Wow, everyone is so gorgeous. Shui Binger arrived at Lu Erlong's place and saw Lu Erlong, Xiao Wu, Zhu Zhuqing, Ning Rongrong, Chenli, Mai Xiang, Hu Meyer, and several others. It was her first time meeting them, and they were all total knockouts. Lu Erlong and Chenli looked like they were barely in their early 20s, and Shui Binger figured they were only a few years older than her. Tops, Hu Meyer was getting special treatment, living with Chenli and Mai Xiang, her mom and sister, and eating with them every day. She was still pretty shy and seemed like the youngest one there. Xiao Wu, Ning Rongrong, Zhu Zhuqing, and Mai Xiang looked around Shui Binger's age. Teacher Erlong, I brought Binger. Chao grinned, introducing her to Lu Erlong and the others. This is Shui Binger from Tianshui Academy. Binger, this is Lu Erlong, the principal of Lanba Academy, our teacher Erlong. Lu Erlong smiled warmly. Shui Binger, welcome. Chao has been singing your praises to me. Seeing you now, you really are a beautiful genius, living up to the hype. Come on, sit down and let's chat. It's an honor to meet you, Principal Erlong. Shui Binger seemed a little nervous, sitting stiffly in the living room, feeling like everyone was checking her out. Chao kept the introductions going, pulling Xiao Wu over. This is my sister, Xiao Wu. She's super cute and pretty, but she can be a handful. Xiao Wu puffed out her cheeks, looking annoyed. Hey. I'm not a handful. Don't go spreading rumors about me. Then, she stared intently at Shui Binger. Hi, Shui Binger. I'm Xiao Wu, the dancer. I'm Chao's little sister. Hi, Shui Binger replied. Aside from her beauty, Xiao Wu's personality reminded her of her own sister, Shui Yuer. Plus, those cute rabbit ears on Xiao Wu's head were adorable. Next, Ning Rongrong stepped up. Shui Binger, I've heard about you. Not just from Chao, but he's been keeping you a secret. I only found out about you recently. When I was keeping an eye on the Advanced Soul Master competition, I definitely noticed the star player at Tianshui College. That was you. I heard you're the captain of Tianshui Academy's team in the Soul Master competition. We're competing too, so I'm looking forward to a good game. Oh, by the way, I'm Ning Rongrong. Chao probably told you about me. It's great to finally meet you. Sound good? Shui Binger sensed a hint of jealousy and even a bit of hostility from Ning Rongrong. Yeah, definitely some love-rival vibes there. Hi, Ning Rongrong. Despite feeling nervous, Shui Binger kept her cool, not wanting to come off as aggressive. Chao De gently pulled Ning Rongrong aside before introducing Zhu Zhuqing. This is Zhu Zhuqing. She doesn't talk much, and she can seem a little distant, but she's got a heart of gold. Zhu Zhuqing shot a look at Chao De, and asked, do I seem distant? How do you know I have a heart of gold? Have you ever experienced it? Chao De played dumb, knowing Zhu Zhuqing was just busting his chops. Seeing that Chao De wasn't going to respond, Zhu Zhuqing turned to Shui Binger. Don't listen to a word Chao De says. He's a smooth talker, so don't let him sweet talk you. Hi, Shui Binger replied, sensing Zhu Zhuqing's strength but also picking up on her hostility. Ahem. Chao De continued, this is Chen Li, Sister Chen, and this is Sister Chen's daughter, my Xiang. And this is the always timid Hu Meyer. Chen Li, my Xiang, and Hu Meyer all had noticeable physical traits. Shui Binger immediately realized that their bodies had mutated, displaying characteristics of their martial spirits. Shui Binger, hello. Chen Li's response was warm and welcoming. My Xiang was even more enthusiastic. Hi, Sister Shui Binger. Hu Meyer, hiding behind Xiao Wu, mustered up her courage to squeak out, hello. Hello. Even though they had just met, Shui Binger could already tell that Lu Erlong, Xiao Wu, Ning Rongrong, and Zhu Zhuqing were all very close to Chao De, but Chen Li, my Xiang, and Hu Meyer didn't share that same kind of intimacy with Chao De, nor did they display the same hostility as Ning Rongrong and Zhu Zhuqing. Lu Erlong seemed very easygoing, and Xiao Wu was friendly, but Shui Binger didn't sense any animosity from her. Shui Binger figured that the two were probably closest to Chao De, like the mistresses of the house. Binger, relax and make yourself at home. From now on, we're all friends here. Feel free to talk to anyone. I'm heading to the kitchen to start dinner, we'll be eating soon. Lu Erlong then headed towards the kitchen. I'll go help Teacher Erlong. You guys chat and get to know each other, but no fighting, got it? Chao De followed her to the kitchen. Ning Rongrong muttered, as if we'd fight. Humph. Shui Binger, have some fruit. Xiao Wu was good at easing the tension and keeping things light. Xiao Wu had also known Shui Binger for a while now, and understood that most of these girls would end up with Chao De eventually, and it was inevitable. That being the case, Xiao Wu could only choose to accept it. At the same time, she wanted to play the role of Chao De's sister well, the role of Chao De's woman, the role of the hostess, be a magnanimous woman, and solve Chao De's worries and problems, so that Chao De would always love her. It is equivalent to retreating to advance. This makes Chao De like it even more. You too. Shui Binger didn't want to come off as unfriendly, considering that they might become like a family in the future, so she tried to connect with them. She initiated conversations, looking for common ground to chat about. With Xiao Wu around, the atmosphere wasn't too bad. Before long, they were talking and laughing together. Chao De helped Lu Erlong in the kitchen, sneaking in a little flirting while he was at it. Are you helping or just being a distraction? Lu Erlong playfully smacked Chao De's hand. If you're going to help, then help. Otherwise, get out. Helping, helping. Chao De said with a grin. Lu Erlong glanced toward the living room. Did you come in here because you were worried they'd start fighting? Xiao Wu's used to you and lets you get away with everything. But Rong Rong and Zhu Qing are jealous. You need to think about how you're going to deal with that. Don't think that you can just enjoy yourself because you've got a bunch of women. If you don't handle things right, you're going to have a major headache. Chao De said with a smile, I'm not worried. You're all wonderful women, and I know you won't make me look bad. Of course, my heart belongs to all of you. I'll always protect you and make you happy. Lu Erlong gave a helpless smile. You. I don't know how you managed to get so lucky, having all these wonderful women around you. The peach blossom luck given by the capture space, you can't do it without enjoying it. The atmosphere in the living room is not bad though, but Ning Rongrong and Zhu Zhuqing's words were somewhat jealous. Ning Rongrong asked Shui Binger, what level is your soul power now? Is this a comparison of strength? Shui Binger replied, now at level 47, I'm sure I can't compare to you. It was originally a modest word, but Ning Rongrong heard it a little harshly. It's really amazing, 2 levels higher than me. Zhu Zhuqing chimed in, Ning Rongrong, you don't have to be too modest, you are a few years younger than Shui Binger, it's normal for your soul power level to be lower. Is it normal? There is a difference of 3 or 4 years, and a difference of 2 levels in soul power. Doesn't this comparison mean that Ning Rongrong's talent is better than Shui Binger's? Ning Rongrong looked disapproving. Age is not an excuse, Zhu Qing, you are the same age as me, but you are already level 46, just 1 level lower than Shui Binger. We are the same age, but you have higher soul power, which shows my talent it's not enough, and it's not hard enough, you have to work harder in the future, and strive to catch up with you and Shui Binger as soon as possible. The words were stinging, just to stimulate Shui Binger. Shui Binger was speechless, but fortunately she has a good temper, gentle, revisiting, otherwise she might be so angry that she would rush out of the door. Chapter 99. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Rongrong, Zhu Qing, you've got way more talent than I do. If we were the same age, I'd still be struggling as a soul master, while you two would be soul sex already. No comparison, you're both way ahead of me. Shui Binger wasn't angry at all, she was humble and gracious. This left Ning Rongrong and Zhu Qing feeling like they had nowhere to direct their competitive energy. Xiao Wu jumped in to smooth things over. Shui Binger, how did you and my brother meet? How long have you known each other? Spill the beans. Actually, Xiao Wu had known the story for a while, Chowda hadn't kept it a secret from her. She was asking for Ning Rongrong and Zhu Qing's sake, since they'd only recently found out about Shui Binger and Chowda's thing. Ning Rongrong and Zhu Qing were jealous and a little hostile. The problem was that Chowda was now officially Shui Binger's boyfriend. They'd been hanging around with Chowda for ages and had, well, been used by him, but without any official girlfriend status. It stung a bit, they were both regretting not having laid down the law with Chowda sooner, before Shui Binger swooped in. Now that Shui Binger was in the picture, they weren't in any hurry to give Chowda what he wanted and had agreed to put him on ice for a while. The air was thick with jealousy. Ning Rongrong and Zhu Qing stared at Shui Binger, eager to hear the story of how she and Chowda connected. Chenli, Mai Xiang, and Hu Meyer, the peanut gallery, sat quietly, listening to the conversation. Chenli sighed to herself, thinking, that Chowda sure is one lucky guy. Chowda usually called Chenli Sister Chen, but she only thought of him as Chowda's little brother. She was always respectful and called him benefactor on the outside. Mai Xiang was more casual, calling Chowda brother Chowda, just like Ning Rongrong. Zhu Qing always used his first name, Chowda. But Hu Meyer was a natural brother Chow girl. Shui Binger hesitated for a moment, then decided to open up, figuring everyone was basically family. It was about 6 months ago. Chowda and I literally bumped into each other on the street. I wasn't watching where I was going. We got to talking, one thing led to another, and now. She left out the love at first sight part with Chowda, not wanting to stir up Ning Rongrong and the others. Shui Binger was good-hearted and always tried to see things from other people's perspectives, not wanting to hurt anyone's feelings. Ning Rongrong picked up on something. I bet with Chowda's wandering eye, he spotted Shui Binger first and orchestrated the whole thing. Xiao Wu thought to herself, Rongrong still knows brother. Shui Binger wasn't bothered, figuring Ning Rongrong was just trying to make her resent Chowda. In her mind, even if Chowda had engineered the meeting, it meant he was into her. Besides, she truly believed it was love at first sight for her. As long as they both liked each other, that was all that mattered. Dinner's ready, go wash up. Chowda emerged with dishes, interrupting their chat. Time to eat. Lu Erlong also came out. Everyone washed their hands and gathered around the table. They were like a family. Chowda was the man of the house, Lu Erlong was the mother hen, and Xiao Wu was the second in command. Ning Rongrong and Zhu Qing were the 2 young wives, always squabbling, and Shui Binger was the new girl on the scene. Chenli, Mai Xiang, and Hu Meyer were the loyal servants and maids. Hu Meyer eyed the lavish spread on the table, her stomach rumbling. She'd recently developed a taste for gourmet food made with ingredients from the captured space and was hooked. But she was shy and didn't dare to pig out. Mayor, if you like something, dig in. No one's gonna judge you. Xiao Wu noticed and put some food on Hu Meyer's plate, like a caring big sister. Hu Meyer was touched. Thank you, Miss Wu. Xiao De chimed in with a smile, Mayor, we're all family now. You come eat with Sister Chen and the others every day. We'll see each other and talk all the time, so don't be nervous. We're all your family here. Family, Hu Meyer repeated. She didn't have a family anymore. Her story was similar to Chen Li and Mai Xiang's. Human traffickers had snatched her, killed her family, and sold her at auction. Thinking of her family, Hu Meyer started to cry. After a bit of comforting, everyone cheered up. After lunch, Chen Li and Mai Xiang, mother and daughter, rushed to clean up the dishes, with Hu Meyer helping out. Once everything was tidy, the three of them left and went back to their place to practice. Even though Xiao De treated them like his own, they knew their relationship with him was different from Lu Erlong, Xiao Wu, and the others, so they knew their place. They left without causing trouble for Xiao De and his inner circle. With Chen Li and the others gone, it was definitely more convenient for Xiao De and the others. In the afternoon, Xiao De took Lu Erlong, Xiao Wu, Zhu Zhuqing, Ning Rongrong, and Shui Binger into the captured space. Xiao Wu grabbed Shui Binger's hand. Binger, even though my brother brought you here, you haven't gone fishing yet. Let's hit the fishing platform. Every newbie gets to reel in an elixir, which can boost your soul power by 1 level. It's not necessary to wait until they are higher level to use the elixir, such as after reaching level 95, or after level 99, this is because the elixirs caught are time sensitive and must be taken within a short period of time. Also, the elixir each person catches only works for them, it's not effective on others. Shui Binger had heard Xiao De mention the fishing platform when she'd first entered the captured space that morning and was curious. Now she'd finally get to try it. Xiao De and the others joined in. They spent some time fishing every day to get enough seafood. Now, each of them had at least 4 chances to catch something every day. The higher their level, the more chances they got. I actually caught a pill. Amazing. After Shui Binger took the elixir, her soul power went up a level, hitting level 48, then they continued fishing until dusk. Time in the captured space was synced with the outside world. But here the sun rose over one part of the sea and set over another. The sunset in the captured space was stunning, so Xiao De and the others went to the beach to hang out. Xiao Wu dragged Shui Binger to change into a beach outfit that made her a little shy. Is this really okay? Xiao Wu giggled. There are no outsiders here. We all dress like this. You might not be used to it at first, but you'll get hooked. Shui Binger glanced at Xiao Wu's bunny print beachwear, then saw that Lu Erlong, Ning Rongrong, Zhu Zhuqing, and the others were all dressed similarly, so she gave Zhu Zhuqing a second look and realized Zhu Zhuqing was really stacked. The beachwear definitely showed off her figure. Xiao De, stop staring at Zhuqing. Ning Rongrong stepped in front of Zhu Zhuqing to block Xiao De's view. This was their way of fighting back. That dog Xiao De had seen Shui Binger coming and his eyes were drawn to her. Binger, you look incredible like that. Xiao De was rocking a tank top and shorts, looking like a hot young thing. Shui Binger glared at Xiao De, realizing this kind of thing must happen a lot here, and Xiao De had probably taken advantage of the situation before. She cursed under her breath. That pervert. She went off to hang out with Xiao Wu and the others, ignoring Xiao De. Xiao De didn't mind. He happily watched them frolicking. The view was amazing, especially when they were running on the beach. It was mesmerizing, of course. He loved watching them play beach volleyball the most. There were all kinds of balls back at the villa, and they sometimes played volleyball or badminton on the beach. All good sports. After dinner, Xiao De dropped Shui Binger back at Tianshui College, so her family wouldn't worry. End of this chapter. Chapter 100 The Sad Chrysanthemum Douluo. You are listening at novelfull.audio. In the woods just outside Tiando City, a real fight for survival was underway, the battlefield thick with poisonous fog. Now's my chance. Dugubo thought. He hurled out his hidden weapon, the mother and son soul snatcher, 2 deadly spheres, one big, one small. They collided in mid-air, unleashing a storm of poisonous needles. Some pierced the leaves, others slammed straight through the trees. You dirty old snake! Chrysanthemum Douluo shouted. I can't believe you'd pull such a cheap shot. Caught off guard, Chrysanthemum Douluo couldn't dodge. The Soul Snatcher's needles found their mark. Douluo's personally crafted venom now coursing through his veins. Knowing he was in trouble, he turned tail and ran. He couldn't risk letting the poison get out of control and falling into Douluo's clutches. He had to find a safe place to detoxify, ASAP. Hey, no fair fighting, right? This is a hidden weapon, a surprise attack. Get over it. Douluo didn't bother chasing. He knew he couldn't catch up, and if he pushed Chrysanthemum Douluo too hard, the guy might just go down swinging, costing him his life. Just seeing him suffer was enough to satisfy Douluo. Man, that feels good. Heh, these things are pretty handy. Gotta get Tang-san to make me some more. Tang-san had given Douluo the mother and son soul snatchers in the first place, and after this success, Douluo was sold. Chrysanthemum Douluo limped off, while Douluo happily headed back to Tiendo City. Meanwhile, once he was sure Douluo wasn't following, Chrysanthemum Douluo collapsed in the forest and began working on the poison. After a good 10 minutes, he finally breathed a sigh of relief. The worst of the toxin was neutralized, at least it was no longer immediately lethal, and he could deal with the rest later. He started back toward the Spirit Hall branch in Tiendo City, needing to heal up. Huh. That's Ghost Douluo's energy. What's he doing around here? Isn't he supposed to be tracking Tang Hao? Scanning the area with his spiritual power, Chrysanthemum Douluo suddenly picked up Ghost Douluo's presence. A few miles away, a huge explosion shook the ground. Could it be? A bad feeling washed over Chrysanthemum Douluo. He flew toward the disturbance as fast as he could, reaching the Titled Douluo level granted one the power of flight, using their immense soul power. However, it was limited in both speed and duration, nowhere near the ability granted by true flying soul skills. Still, it was a sign of power. The higher the Titled Douluo's rank, the better their flight ability. Old Ghost. Chrysanthemum Douluo arrived to find Ghost Douluo slumped in a crater, coughing up blood and clearly badly hurt. Chrysanthemum, watch out. It's Tang Hao. Ghost Douluo gasped. He was tracking Tang Hao, when Tang Hao jumped him. It is Tang Hao. Chrysanthemum Douluo had suspected as much, but confirmation still sent a chill down his spine. The former Tang Hao had already left a serious mark on both him and Ghost Douluo. First a pansy, now a chrysanthemum. Tang Hao appeared in the air, 9 soul rings blazing around him, 2 yellow, 2 purple, 4 black, and 1 red. That 100,000-year ring radiated oppressive power, combined with Tang Hao's palpable bloodlust. It was enough to scare both Douluos. Tang Hao, are you declaring war on the Spirit Hall? Chrysanthemum Douluo ground out the words. You might be strong, but you can't take on the entire hall. The current pope is far stronger than the last one. Humph. Tang Hao sneered. The Spirit Hall, is it? His massive, blood-red clear sky hammer materialized, looming over the 2 Douluos. First they killed my wife, now they're trying to kill my son. Fine. Bring it on. I took down 1 pope, I can take down 2. How many popes you got for me to fight? Chrysanthemum Douluo and Ghost Douluo trembled. The Tang Hao before them was too terrifying. Chrysanthemum. Ghost Douluo snapped, giving Chrysanthemum Douluo a meaningful look. Chrysanthemum Douluo got the message, and together they charged toward Tang Hao. Martial Soul Fusion. They activated their combined technique. The memory was still fresh in Tang Hao's mind. He didn't try to dodge or stop it, it was already too late. The bipolar static field. Ghost Douluo and Chrysanthemum Douluo's fusion skill took effect. Instantly, time seemed to freeze within the skill's area of effect. Tang Hao was trapped, all 3 of them locked in place, a control skill, but while it restricted their target, Ghost Douluo and Chrysanthemum Douluo couldn't move either. Tang Hao was stuck for a few seconds, but then his power erupted. You think a little ghost and a flower can hold me? Asterisk crack, star, like shattering glass, Tang Hao broke through their fusion skill. He's gotten stronger. Startled, Ghost Douluo and Chrysanthemum Douluo instantly activated their martial spirit avatars and unleashed their 9th soul skills at Tang Hao. A field of chrysanthemums. Golden flowers bloomed everywhere, mixed with swirling specters. Humph. Grand Summer hammer, break it all. Tang Hao swung his hammer, slamming head-on into their attacks. Cough, cough. Pooh. Ghost Douluo and Chrysanthemum Douluo were sent flying, spitting out blood. The Tang Hao of today was far stronger than he had been 10 years ago. They were no match. Old Ghost, get out of here. Using the force of the blast, they bolted in opposite directions. Spirit Hall, this isn't over. Tang Hao's voice echoed behind them, but surprisingly, he didn't give chase. Once they were gone, Tang Hao landed heavily, his face pale. Ahem. It wasn't that he didn't want to chase them, but his old injuries had flared up. The wounds from his battle with Chihiro Ji and the others, over a decade ago, had never fully healed. Tang Hao had tried everything, but he couldn't shake the persistent pain. Unable to get his revenge on the Spirit Hall himself, he now pinned his hopes on Tang San. The assassin that was sent out earlier was a bust, but the Spirit Hall's continued surveillance of Tang Hao made him certain they were targeting Tang San. He had found Ghost Douluo, and Tang Hao had intended to kill him to send a message. But Chrysanthemum Douluo had jumped in unexpectedly, and now his injuries had resurfaced, costing him the opportunity. He resisted the urge to chase, choosing to focus on issuing a warning to the Spirit Hall. Laying low with his son was no longer an option. In his mind, in order to deal with Tang San, they would need to deal with Tang Hao first. Tang Hao was focused on drawing the Spirit Hall's animosity to himself, relieving some of the pressure on Tang San. Little San, grow up fast. Tang Hao turned and left, hurrying back to continue his secret protection. Jiando City, the Imperial Palace. Chao De. After Douluo Bo returned to Jiando City, Prince Xuexing summoned him to the palace. As he entered, he ran into Chao De leaving after meeting with Xuexing. Qianrenxue. Chao De saw Douluo Bo, but simply ignored him. What's he doing here? Douluo Bo wondered, deciding to investigate. Chao De had sworn allegiance to Xuexing. Qianrenxue, who now invited Chao De to the palace for drinks and chats almost every month. Qianrenxue's brotherly kindness was hard to refuse. Chao De enjoyed teasing Qianrenxue in her Xuexing disguise, taking advantage of the situation in broad daylight. He never got tired of it. Back at Lanba Academy, Lu Erlong told Chao De, the year's almost over. My parents sent word, reminding us to come home for New Year's. Chao De readily agreed. Okay, I haven't met my mother-in-law yet, right? I need to get some gifts. Lu Erlong smiled. Then it's settled.